Hi, good morning, folks. In this video, let's take a look at the trade deadline. It's right around the corner. Coming up. Yeah, this was a video I meant to do actually, I don't know, 3-4 days ago, and I got on it this morning because now that the dust has settled with these two games, we can kind of move forward again, right? And start looking towards our future. And we've got to see what we can get done and hopefully get done next week, guys, because the trade deadline's around the corner. We're like not too far away. So I found an article. It was on the fourth period, which I found interesting, and I bookmarked it because I wanted to come back to it, and I did that this morning. So we're gonna take a look at this, guys, and see what we think of this idea, because this for me would have been a no-no early in the season, but not now. Now's the right time to do something like this, because then the truth is you have more teams begging you at this point. So let's take a look. I'll show you the headline. Sabres willing to take on contracts. So this is something that when I was talking about when it comes to cap space, how it's power. We hold the power over many contenders come playoff time with that money being open. So there's going to be teams calling, guys. All right, let's take a look at a few clips. Here we go. The Buffalo Sabres are open to multiple scenarios heading into the March 21st trade deadline, and that includes taking on contracts as a third party to assist the Stanley Cup contenders that are up against the salary cap. The Sabres have the most salary cap space in the NHL and are willing to use that space as an asset, and not strictly for the rest of this season. I like the idea that we're going to use our cap space as an asset. Oh, God, I just love that, because this is why, guys. Now, this is the week where some of the young kids that maybe don't get why we didn't spend more money, you're going to understand this week. This week, I'm sure. And it doesn't mean we're going to do a flood of stuff. It might not happen, but it can, because a lot of teams are going to be knocking on our door saying, please help us, So it's pretty cool. And it says not strictly for the rest of this season, okay? So we might be taking on somebody that has 3 years left. They're open to it, depending on the player, of course. All right, let's take a look. This is Adams talking here. I've been proactive in making sure teams know that there's something we'd be open to. Certainly it has to make sense for us. We're in a position where we do have a lot of cap space, and if there's a way to accelerate our assets in our organization, we're going to look to take every opportunity to do that. I'm liking Adams more and more, guys. He's just on top of things, it feels like. It feels like he's the right guy. And guys, the glare I'm getting in the lights and the glasses, which drives me nuts when I'm editing, I'm working on it, okay, because I'm readjusting everything in my studio. It's temporary. I'll get to it. Okay, let's, because I can tell when I lift my head enough when it's hitting. I can tell. So I've got to fix this, but the positioning of the lights is better. It's just the glare is off, so I'm working on that. Okay, let's take a look at this clip. Here we go. Obviously, things have to fall in place. The league knows it. We're in a position where we can help a team and teams get a deal done. I've also made it clear around the league that maybe a team that's up against the cap and there's a player into next year that's troubling for them. If it makes sense for us and it fits and we get an asset out of it as well, that's something we're going to look to do. We're really open to anything as long as we think it makes sense for our organization. So Adams, I trust with stuff like this, guys. I just do. You know, he seems to really, after the Jack fiasco, I trust him. I just trust he has our better interests at hand. You know, he does. He'll just say, no, that doesn't make sense for us. That's what he'll just tell them if they even offer us a second rounder or something to do it. And say, but we need more than that. So I like that. He'll play hardball this way. And believe me, guys, believe me on this. Teams will come begging for our cap space this year. They'll come begging. Oh, geez. Next clip. With the trade deadline 2 weeks away, the Sabres have 4 defensemen on expiring contracts that could be moved. Robert Hagg, Mark Pysyk, Will Butcher, and Colin Miller are all set to become unrestricted free agents July 13, and the Sabres are taking calls on each of them. It's no secret that you can play 4 rounds of playoff hockey, Stanley Cup playoff hockey. You're going to need depth everywhere, Adams said. You can never have enough, it should say enough, I'm guessing, enough NHL-capable defensemen. We do have guys here that are good pros. They're character-type guys, too. So he knows, they're going to be knocking on our door. Teams are going to come knocking on our door. Guys, believe me on this. This is when I can't stress enough, when I said money's power, it's power at this time of the year. We're like the first overall team in the NHL because we have the most cap space at the deadline. And teams will be flexible, and we can play hardball with them because we'll have other guys coming to bid with us and giving us the best possible draft pick or stud or whatever it is. Something to think about, eh? It is. All right, final clip. With 3 first-round draft picks in this summer's NHL draft, the Sabres are willing to take on addition picks in exchange for some of their assets both in the 2022 draft and in future years, Adams admitted. But he is also open to prospects and players that maybe are a little bit closer to the NHL. I like the fact, that we are willing to take on something for future years too, eh? Hey, it doesn't have to be next draft, guys. It just doesn't have to be. So, he's being very open with the public out there because, let's face it, it's going to be a lot of teams calling us, interested in our cap space, very many. And I'm sure whatever space Arizona has left open, they might do the same. I have to go check Arizona's cap. I haven't checked it recently, but they were smart. They kind of stocked up. I think we're I like our idea better. I do. I like the idea that what we did is we waited to the end of the year when teams are really desperate to open up cap space. All these teams are going to, Tampa Bay comes to mind. You know what I mean? Teams want to, Vegas come to mind. They might just, you never know. I mean, guys like Riley Smith, there's just possibilities is what I'm saying. As the season winds down, teams, only half the league gets into the playoffs, so those 16 teams are going to come right at you, at least 8 of them hard, I figure. Every team wants to open cap space. Every team's up against the cap that's in the playoffs. There's no team with a ton of cap space. Not really. It's rare. It's rare year to year. Colorado comes to mind. I mean, there's teams that will want to open up space, even for next year, while we're in that mode of, because there's no guarantees next year that the Sabres will even go near that kind of thing next year. We might be very busy July 1st, right? July 1st and July 13th now, I guess. I thought it was July 1st. See, I don't even know. But if you look at the possibility that we're going to be spending in the summer, teams know it. They want to get us now while we got some cap and while they're planning their big playoff push. This is going to be a very interesting scenario, guys. We might just be landing some players we're not expecting very soon. So we have to be prepared for that. You know, it's not just what's going on this week. There's other things happening, you know, and I'm a little pumped for it. I'm kind of excited for the trade deadline because I just know the Sabres are going to be really active this time around. They are. This isn't going to be one of those weeks where we're just, you know, we're just sellers. We're going to be buyers too this time around. Of course, we got to trade off some pieces, but we also can take some players back with our money and get draft picks because of it. And that really intriguing for this fan, guys. It is. The idea, I don't know how many of you have put out this year, what can we do to get another first round pick? I've asked, and it's true. Can we squeeze another first rounder? I have to do a video on that because the last time I think a team had 4 first rounders was like 30 years ago. It's been a long time. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'd have to check it out. All right, that's it. I've got some more videos coming at you today. This is being filmed in the morning and most likely won't go up till later in the day because I got other videos. I'm just gonna leave the camera sit there with this sitting in it. See you in the next one, guys.